Anyway, you're all listening to The Bike Show. You may not have picked that up yet. And on today's show, we're going to have in some people from BIKEast, who are one of the bicycle user groups that are active in the eastern suburbs, and we'll find out what they're up to. Joining me in the studio from BIKEast is Adrian Boss and John O'Neill. Welcome, guys.
Good morning. How are you going?
I'm going fine. Thanks for coming in. So we're just going to have a bit of a chat about what BIKEast does and what's happening and all that sort of stuff. So let's start off with exactly that. What's BIKEast up to at the moment?
Well, BIKEast is an advocacy group which focuses mainly on the eastern suburbs of Sydney. We also lead rides, and one of the major things that we do is we follow up with councils the work that we're seeking to have done to improve things for cyclists. Okay,
so what do you see as being some of the hot issues in the eastern suburbs at the moment?
Well, the hottest issue really is that some of the listeners would know that the City of Sydney is progressing very rapidly in implementing its cycling strategy and is spending a fair bit of money to ensure that cyclists get reasonable access to roads and shared paths so that they can go from home to work and to generally enjoy themselves out and about. In the case of the surrounding councils, Woollahra, Waverley, Randwick and Botany, which we tend to service most, the issue really is twofold. One is, to some extent, they don't have the sort of funds anywhere near, in other words, the capacity that Sydney Council has to implement things for the community, including for cyclists and pedestrians. And secondly, some of the councils don't have a consistent will to serve the cycling interests. They have doubts.
I think just on that, I mean, obviously Clover's LGA has an enormous rate base, and so I think her budget's in the order of $60 million over the life of the project.
That's right, Chris.
And the councils the councils around that don't have anything, and anything near that sort of money. I think Marrickville's bike budget is in the order of $50K. Or I think it might be a bit more than that now, but it's not a lot of money.
No, well, that's the same situation for Woollahra, Waverley. Randwick has a little bit more, but the main problem for them is that unless they get dollar-for-dollar funding from the state government, they can't undertake any worthwhile projects at all. Okay,
so, and of course, Clover's project's almost, well, it's not useless, of course, because the Sydney LGA is quite large, but if you can't get to it, I mean, that's the thing. If you live in Marrickville, if you live in Woollahra or wherever.
Well, there's a lot.
Yes, sorry, John, you.
Yeah, well, there's certainly a lot of things that have been happening over recent years, so there's been a tremendous integration of a number of bike paths that certainly we're enjoying from the city and out through the east that we do regularly. So
yeah,
it's tremendous the extent to which things have happened over the last 10 years, and you really see a lot of change happening, a lot of people riding.
Okay, cool.